Thank you so much for getting in touch. We really appreciate it. hello@fulhamish.co.uk for your Thursday Club emails and also for your This Will Catch On entries. TJ Fogarty.
Shout out TJ.
Hello, TJ from Philadelphia. Says, hi all, let me start by saying we are safe. 3 teams probably won't reach 35 points and we're not going to lose every match until the end of the season.
No.
Let's call last match day, March 2nd, the day we've known we're safe. Planning for next season in the Premier League should start this week. Really don't want a window like last season because imagine what we could have done if Bassi and Iwobi had come in at the start of pre-season and we had a striker lined up as a Mitra replacement. Without a doubt, our most successful signing since we've come up was Palhinha, and he joined us before the squad left pre-season in Portugal. We're fairly established in the Premier League at this point and we'll have a 2-season head start on teams coming up this year. Next season, we should really be looking to push for Europe / a domestic trophy. I just hope we don't leave the vast majority of our business until next season has started again. Thanks from TJ. So it's not really a question, but more just TJ's thoughts. I always wonder with this though, like, is it a case that we're not thinking about it? Because without trying to completely stick up for what the club does in the transfer window, and there definitely is an element of like leaving business so late is frustrating. Is it that we're not looking? Because I feel like the club must be having these thoughts as well. They must know, right, we've got to prepare for the Premier League. Is it just the way that we do business of trying to do it late is the problem?
I think there's an element of reactivity, which is a shame, but we've spoken about it before in terms of, you know, succession planning, in terms of having different profiles of player in that complement each other as well as allow for replacement in a pinch. There is this element of we don't know yet what the summer's going to look like in terms of departures. And so what we need to be thinking about right now, I think, is not necessarily, yes, targets should never stop as far as I'm concerned, right? There should be players being brought up on boards and looking at their numbers and starting to then try and assess them over longer periods of time to see if they'd fit. Then you go and work out whether the cultural fit works, whether they would fit nicely into the squad mechanics. I think that's something that maybe gets underestimated a little bit. This feels like a really good group at Fulham with, you know, people all pulling in the same direction, and you don't want to disrupt that. So part of that is this, and then you think, okay, who are the players coming into the last years of their contract? Are Fulham going to activate, we assume, the contract extension on Kenny Tete for an extra year? Because right now, he's a free agent in the summer.
Yeah.
What happens with Tosin? Are we going to be able to convince Tosin Adebayo to stay at Fulham? Or is that now, are we past the point of no return on that? Because if we're past the point of no return and we don't think there's any chance of him staying whatsoever, that's where you go, right, well, we need a right centre-back to partner and work with Calvin Bassey in a similar way to what Tosin has. That's the key element. Now, I hope he stays. But if he doesn't, we need to be all over that from the minute we walk into the transfer window, because I think that's a key spot that could make or break next season. You work out what's going on with Palhinha. Now, as we spoke about a couple of weeks ago, I don't think it's a done deal that he goes anywhere this summer, because I'm not sure who's going to be able to afford him, and if the clubs that are able to afford him need him. So that leaves us in a slightly different situation to last summer, where it did feel like someone was going to come in at some point. So there's considerations to be had there. Then it goes, okay, you go, well, we need a number 9, you assume. If Breuer is going to leave in the summer, if he doesn't play with us and he ends up, you know, we're paying that 4 million clause, that's going to hurt Chelsea's chances of trying to get, you know, more money for him. At that point, if we thought he was a good fit, is it worth re-entering that conversation at the lower price point? Because are you going to get much better than a Breuer for sub 20 million if that's what they end up selling him for? I don't know, but it's worth considering. Does Carlos Vinicius get sold in the summer? Is there an option to buy him? If there isn't, then where is he going to go? Because the last thing we need is 4 strikers on the books when we play with a 1-striker system. So all of this needs to be considered. And this is what I think the club needs to be working on right now. Where we think we are, and look, they might be, but it always feels like these decisions come down to the last minute. And actually what I would like is the club to be ahead of these, so that by the time it gets to June the 1st or June 30th, whenever these contracts expire, we know exactly where we are.
I think you need a mixture of both, right? I think the signings that come middle of the summer, are there for pre-season. Ala Polina are great. And Bassi was done reasonably early.
Yeah.
In the summer. I mean, these things always take long and it's frustrating. You're there linked with someone for 6 weeks and you're wondering what the hell's going on.
Yeah, but you also look at someone like Castagna and what the fee was going to be and etc. And then it coming down so drastically at the end of the season, you go, okay, it was difficult, but we were also looking for a, inverted commas, backup right back behind Kenny Tete. Now he's succeeded him and gone on to do great things and become the first choice right back. But I'm not 100% sure that was the plan from the start of the season. And so there was no point in us paying the exact fee Leicester wanted on someone we thought was going to be second choice right back.
Yeah.
You're okay to wait for that. It's only when it becomes a key player, a real like heart and soul of the team, then it needs to be completely and utterly integrated from day dot. And that's what Polina was. It's what Bassi has become. But also, you can't really do that unless you know for certain where you are with the squad and what's happening. And last summer, yes, we should have been more aware of what things were going on and how things were going to play out. But the Mitrovic situation was deeply unclear for many weeks.
Yeah. Well, it was such willy won'ty. And in beautiful hindsight, I think everyone at Fulham should have just acknowledged he's a goner, prepare for him to go. And I think it caught Fulham blindsided.
Yeah.
Last summer. I think everything else I think was fairly planned out and has just about worked.
Yeah. I mean, by plan or design or chance, I don't 100% know, but yeah, we feel like we've come out of it okay.
Yeah, but the Mitrovic thing blindsided us, and I'm confident that we will make a cut. And also, I think that it's great to look around in the last minute deals for players that are a bonus. The Adamas, it wasn't actually a last minute deal, but it was kind of late-ish in the window, wasn't it? I mean, that was a brilliant bit of late business that has boosted the squad.
100%.
I think there's a mixture of both, but I do agree. I just like this summer to be a bit less fractious because it felt like last points everyone was about to kill each other. And
I could just do without it descending into the 7th level of hell again.